In 2003, Ronnie Coleman stepped on the bodybuilding stage at nearly 300 pounds. He blew everybody's mind. And still, till this very day, a lot of people will consider the 2003 version of him the very biggest and the very best. But the very next year, in 2004, Ronnie Coleman looked to be just as big, just as conditioned, and of course just as dominant as well. So why does nobody ever talk about the 2004 version of Ronnie Coleman as being the best? Could it be that in 2002, 1 year prior to '03, he looked very slender, very small. So when he came back in '03, it just blew everybody's mind. So in '04, it could be that he was every bit as good as he was in '03, maybe even better. So I figured for sure this one warrants a comparison. And actually, Superset Man, I did not realize he did the exact same thing. He had the same idea. He probably figured that '03 was just as good as, or '04 was just as good as '03. But let's have this comparison. He also did a video footage, which was very helpful, I might add. And in the front lat spread, one of the first things I noticed, the wheels. I'm not saying they're bigger in '04, but they seem to be drier and more conditioned. I don't know. Pecs seem to be a little bit more bulbousy, bigger in '03. I don't know though. I think the waistline is better in '04. Let's go through these shots. Front double bicep pose. And right out of the chute, the lighting's going to be a little bit different, but you have to take all things into consideration. He does look more jacked in the upper body. From the forearms to the bicep-tricep separation, the pecs. The pecs seem to be more vascular. Like I said, more jacked. But his waistline seems to be more streamlined in '04. Not only that, but like I said in the first shot, I think those wheels are a little bit more separated, more drier. Anyway, take it for what it is. Definitely though. I mean, look at that upper body. Here's another shot, and you can see that his chest is a whole lot thicker in '03. But then again, look, I see some gyno. Is that gyno perhaps? Anyway, the wheels don't look any more separated in '04 in this shot. Looks like he's got a hefty set of wheels in '03. Unbelievable, really. But depending on how you see this one, '04 does have a slightly better midsection. Go through the shots here. Front lat spread. Now this one I noticed. '03, he goes off kilter. He's way off tilt. You can see it's his left delt. It's his right delt. Sorry, way up in the air, and it very unesthetically pleasing. You can see it on his face. I think he's in pain when he hits this shot. He's actually smiling, and he made it much more symmetrical in '04. So I think aesthetically, he is a little bit better in '04. Here's another shot of the front lat spread. Take it for what it is, guys, and he is much more symmetrical. This '04 version, it reminds me of the 2000 Ronnie Coleman, if you guys remember that version. Similar in size as well. Midsection looks no better here in '04. So, is '03 better after the first two shots? Maybe not as aesthetically pleasing, but I would say he's more jacked, bigger. Wheels are close though. The side shots are more difficult to get a good good comparison. I actually like '04 in the side shot. And like I said, I watched the video footage Superset Man had. And, every shot, the two front shots even, '04 did look to be just as good. But I mean, I think you need the pictures. He also did a picture comparison. And you can't tell wheels. Wheels are not being displayed at the same angle. And neither or there either is the upper body. Anyway, side tricep, exact same thing. You cannot make a decision, an educated decision on this because the angles are so different. Looks like he's got a little bit of a Buddha belly. Some people say these purple tight ones are photoshopped. You guys believe that? I think Ronnie was a freak. I don't think he needed to be photoshopped. But anyway, I don't want to point the finger of blame to photoshoppers for making Ronnie look like a Greek god here. It all has to do with the back. And this is why I said Superset Man's comparison was very helpful, because it's hard to notice, but it is his left lat has deteriorated, started to in 04. In 03, he was much more symmetrical. A picture like this, hard to tell. He looks just as conditioned in 04, I'll tell you that much for free, in the hamstrings, glutes. But it's harder to tell from this shot because he's kind of spreading eagle a little bit. The butt looked bigger in 03. He looked like he had a bigger butt. Go through the shots. Rear lat spread, and yeah. I know it's not straight on, so it's harder to tell. But his lat, little bit smaller. And his badonkadonk, little bit smaller. But that's not really a bad thing for Ronnie to have a smaller buttocks. As long as the condition's in. It's actually his hamstrings look tighter and more conditioned here. Like I said, guys, could it be that he is drier in 04? Could be. But when you do watch the video footage and you do a straight-on shot of the back, it doesn't seem like that much of a glaring omission here, but I'm telling you right now, if you watch the video footage, you can really see his lat was a whole lot smaller. And I was watching the side-by-side shots, so close, and then soon as they turned around, I thought to myself, aha. 04 is not as good as 03 because he has a glaring omission. He has a bad body part. So take it for what it is, guys. But I mean, we're going to look at the rest of the shots here. You can see his bum does not reach down as far as it did in 03. I think he was doing those big, massive squats that year. You know what I mean? The one that his one regret in life, he did. They asked him, if you regretted anything? And yeah, when I did two squats, he squatted the 700 pounds or whatever it was for two reps. He said that he wanted to do 5 reps. That was his one regret in life. Rear double. The shot seems to be somewhat unsymmetrical for both versions here. Couldn't see that in the video footage. Strange. Interesting. Indeed. His glutes, his bum looks slightly softer in 04, but his hamstrings are more conditioned. I guess when you're focused on flexing one, you forget about flexing the other. I think that's what happened. I definitely seen pictures of his hamstrings just as peeled in 03. Let's have a look at the abs and thigh. Ooh. You know what? And this reigns true for all the, what do they do? The pose down thing that they did, the challenge round thing. You could really see the video footage of Ronnie's abs and thigh was maybe at his best. You can see his midsection a little full. Like I said, guys, his quads might have been drier. Let's have a close-up shot. And yes, sir. I would wager to say, ladies and gentlemen, aside from that pec, or that lat, did I call it a pec earlier? A lat and a pec? One's the front, one's the back. They're opposite. I mean, aside from that lat, I think 04, using this abs and thigh shot, this is a pretty dominant shot, guys. And it's very aesthetically pleasing. Wow. Finish it off. Most muscular. It's very difficult. You would be quite remiss to think that you could make an educated decision on this picture. They're not even at the same stance or anything like that. Now this one here is an exact pose, pretty much. It looks like he is fresher, if that makes sense to you guys. It looks like he's fresher, ready to go in 2003. In 04, it looks like he's been through a war. Slightly less symmetrical, if you can kind of see that. I don't know. Midsection actually looks a little bit less good in 04, and that wouldn't be very good, would it? More separation in the quads, and I'll say that right to the end. in '04. So there is some body parts here that I do prefer in 2004. Believe it or not, and the match is over just like that. So who's better, realistically? Well, '03 is because of the back shot. And that does make a big difference, guys. You turn around and one lat's bigger than the other. But I mean, there's a lot of things. Like even in this shot, you can see the quads are more separated, I think, in '04. It's just as jacked. And remember, definitely winning that abs and thigh shot. But as a whole, on the whole, get me out of this hole. Hey, Billy, find me a way to this hole. Anyway, '03, I would say, is just that much better because of the symmetry. But it is debatable. Somebody told me 2004 was better because he's better conditioned. Yeah, maybe from the front, the quads, things of that nature. But still, I was surprised, to be honest with you, how good '04 actually was. Hit thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you guys think about this. Who do you guys think would win? Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you have not already, and hit thumbs up. I love you guys. Have a good one.